Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Good Bedtime Stories with your best friend Evan here. So here's a nice little story. Every once in a while, when I don't have any ideas for a video, I think I'll just tell a story over some gameplay and call it a day until I do think of an idea for a video. But so here, this actually just happened kind of recently, and by kind of recently, I mean probably a while ago. I don't even know. But so basically, what happened is this, and the reason everyone likes hearing stories every once in a while, so I figure, I'll just tell a quick one now and again to keep the subscriber engagement going. I think it's healthy for the channel. But yeah, anyway, so it's like a Wednesday. No, it is a Wednesday, and we're in school, and National Honor Society has this field trip, which I'm in. Like, if you're in high school, you probably know what National Honor Society is. But anyway, National Honor Society has this field trip, right? And we're like going to work this carnival, and this is actually this isn't really the main point of the story, but we go to the carnival, and I get assigned. It's like a carnival for really, really little kids, and basically we're running it. We're volunteering, because that's a big thing in NHS. You volunteer for stuff. So we go there, we take a bus, and we get there, and then the guy's like, all right, so this is the carnival. This is how you'll be volunteering at the different things, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, all right. And he's like, all right, now everyone's gonna have to get partners, and I was like, oh no, please, no. And he's like, but is there anyone who wants to work a station by themselves? And I was like, yes, thank you. I will do it. And then, except I didn't really yell like that. I was just like, I'll do it. So then I went. So he's like, okay, young man, come with me. And he showed me to my little station, and everyone had to work like a certain game. How the carnival is. So basically, my job was this. So there's this little plastic bin, and I filled it with water and stuff. And then there's all these plastic ducks of various colors and stuff. And they go in the thing, and you can probably guess where this is going. It was the pick a duck game where the little kids would come up, they'd give me a ticket, I'll be like, okay, thank you, one ticket, please, and I'll take their ticket, and then I'll be like, alright, and this was literally my job, this is what they told me to do, okay? So, the kid would come up, and I'd be like, pick a duck, any duck, all the ducks are fair game, and that's what I said. I'd probably said that 250 times to a bunch of different kids, and the kids would come up, and then they'd pick a duck out of the thing, and it would have a random symbol drawn underneath. It would be like an X or an O or like a freaking Greek letter, I don't know. But that was it. So they'd have something, and then I would have to convince them, the kids, that that was the winning shape or symbol or something. I was like, no, you picked an X. That's the winning letter. Oh my gosh, you won a prize. And then I'd get all the little thing candy, be like, please pick one prize. And they'd be like, okay then, and they take a prize and they leave. And I did that for a couple of hours, and that was literally my job there. And some of the kids actually got pretty smart. I mean, they weren't stupid. They were first and second grade. They can figure some things out. All right, so kids would come up and just I had the ducks. Okay, I did have the ducks organized by color, because I don't know, it was bothering me. So I organized them by color. It was in red, orange. It would actually went yellow, orange, red, purple, pink, blue, light blue, dark blue, green, or something, and the kids would pick the same duck over and over, and I honestly didn't care. I'll just do my job. So I'd be like, oh, that's the winning one, to give them a prize. Then they'd go to their friends and be like, psst, hey Timmy, that one duck is actually the winning duck. So if you just pick that one right there, and then Timmy would come up, and he'd have this huge grin on his face, and I knew what was going on, and he'd be like, all right. I'd tell him the directions. He'd reach for the same duck that the last 25 people had picked, and he'd pick it up, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's the winning duck. Have a piece of candy. And then I'd give him a piece of candy. He'd wander away, and then you go to his little group of friends and be like, nah, I didn't care. I'm just glad they were having fun at the carnival, okay? But yeah, and some of the other kids would be like, they're also pretty smart, and they picked this different ducks twice in a row, and when it wasn't the same symbol, I'd be like, that's the other winning symbol, you pick a prize. And they're like, what's the winning symbol, what's not a winning symbol? And then that was when I was completely stumped. I was like, oh gosh, there's a few winning symbols, X, A, E with an accent over it, those are all winning symbols. O's are winning as well. Anyway, this is completely off topic from the actual thing. So we get back from the field trip late, so it's 3:30. My school ends at 2:40ish, around there. So we get back late, and later that day, I have rehearsal, because for my church there's this for the band. I'm the sound guy, so I do the sound or the media. So the projectors, I work those in the back, and then the soundboard, because I'm a freaking nerd. And so we had the performance later that day at this youth camp, right? And a couple of my friends from school are also in the band there. So they're like, and one of them, I'm not gonna use anyone's real name here, but like I usually don't use people's real names. I don't think anyone from my school watches my channel anyway. But so yeah, my one friend Ann and my friend Tommy, we'll call him that. And so Ann was gonna give us a ride to the camp, right? We were gonna carpool to the camp, but we had like an hour to kill before we actually had to be there. And so it was more like 45 minutes, somewhere around there. We get back from the field trip, and Anne's like, "Yeah, do you still need to ride up?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's see if we can find Tommy." So we look around for Tommy. Sure enough, he's in the cafeteria. But we find him. And we're like, "Okay, so we got like all the time in the world. What should we do?" And then someone, Anne was like, "Okay, I'm kind of hungry. You guys want to get something to eat?" And then Tom was like, "Oh, I don't really know. Maybe not. Evan, what do you want to do?" I was like, "Oh, why do I always have to make the important decisions? Come on, guys." And then they're like, "Oh, come on." I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." So then we were like, "All right, we're gonna go get something to eat." And Anne's like, "All right, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to my locker." So I'm like, "Okay." Then the thought dawned on me, and I was like, "Uh-oh." And I was like, "I have no money." And I was like, "Oh, I got a job for this reason, so that I would have money, but I don't really carry it on me ever, which is actually pretty bad. You should always carry some money on you." But I learned that today, so I was like, "Oh." So I frantically looked through my backpack for my government handout from President Obama, and it's not in there, and I'm like, "Oh no." And so I'm having a little bit of a personal crisis here, and I'm looking through. I have like a paper clip, a piece of loose leaf paper, like a piece of lint from a washing machine. None of which is actual. I have like 50 wintergreen lifesavers. Those aren't real money, so I'm like, oh shoot. Because basically all the purchases I make are on PayPal. So then when I actually have to make a purchase in real life, I have no money to do that. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to my locker. I power walk to my locker, down to locker like 347, if that's even the right locker. And then I share my locker with my friend. We'll call him Carlos. So I share a locker with Carlos, and I go, and I'm like, oh, maybe Carlos will have some money. So you're not supposed to share lockers, but I do anyway, just because he has the worst locker in the whole school, and I have a pretty decent one. So I let him keep like his 2 notebooks in there. It's not a big deal. So of course he has no money. And then I see in the distance a ray of hope, and it is none other than Carlos himself. And I don't know why he's still here. School's been over for like an hour now. He probably had detention or something. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I walk up to him and I'm like, "Hey, Carlos, just the man I wanted to see." And he's like, "What do you want, Evan?" And I'm like, "Do you have any, like, an Abe Lincoln or like 5 George Washingtons that I could borrow?" And he's like, "What do you want? Some money? You want some money, kid?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll pay you back tomorrow. Okay, I'll pay you back tomorrow. I just need to borrow some quick cash." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. I won't ask questions. I can hook you up." And I'm like, Thank you. And he just pulls out like a $100 bill, just like straight out of his pocket, and he's like, here we go, man. And I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. This is a $100 bill. And he's like, yeah, I know it's a $100 bill. I'm like, yeah, well, the thing is, I'm just going to Subway. I'm not fleeing the country. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, I think they have change at Subway, don't they? I'm like, I'm not using a $100 bill to buy a 6-inch Subway sandwich, man. He's like, "Are you sure about that?" I'm like, do you have any $5 bills? And he's like, no, man. Just I got this, just this $100 bill. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, when is that ever gonna come in handy, ever? And he's just like, I'm just like, okay, that's fine. You can continue on your merry little way. So I'm feeling like the scum of the earth. I'm like, oh no. I should have accepted the $100 bill. No. But yeah, so I'm like, I go back to Ann and Tom, and I'm like, oh yeah, guys, let's head out. So we drive there. We're thinking about going to Burger King or Subway, and we decide on Subway. Subway is my favorite. But so we're going. I tell some hilarious jokes to lighten the mood, and I'm talking like hilarious. Like these jokes were like unbeatable. I was on a roll. Okay, like yeah, they were terrible. But yeah, so and then we get there, I'm like, oh yeah, guys, unless they count 50 wintergreen lifesavers as currency, I have no money. And they're like, oh, it's okay, Evan, it's okay. I'll buy you a sandwich. I'm like, no. So I just got like a chocolate chip cookie, and I ended up paying Ann back, who paid But so I'm not a complete scumbag, guys. But yeah, so the moral of this story is if you don't frequently if all your money is in your PayPal account, like me, for example, I did make 11 cents from YouTube yesterday, so there's always that. But yeah, speaking of which, I could in a week of YouTube, I could actually buy a Subway chocolate chip cookie. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for my standards. A Subway chocolate chip cookie every week is a reward for doing YouTube. I'm not complaining the slightest. But anyway, so the moral of this story is you always carry like $10 or like $5, and let's see if I can translate that into Canadian money or Canadian dollars or maybe British pounds for you. And apparently I was actually looking, this is off topic, but I was looking at my YouTube demographic the other day, and it turns out a lot of my viewers are from the Netherlands. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know, that was completely off topic, but like, yeah, the USA only makes up 49% of my views, which is interesting. So like, there's the Netherlands, Great Britain's got a fair amount of views coming from Great Britain, and then there's Canada, which I have some views coming in from there as well. But yeah, moral of the story, always carry some money on you. Ever since, I've always carried, like, I have this one water bottle. It's not a real water bottle, but you open it up from the middle and you can put money in it. So I carry that on me. It's got all my riches in it. So I got all like 7 of my dollars right now in it. But yeah, I haven't really ever needed to use it except for a couple times. But those couple times, that's the moral story. In case you're one of those people, because the thought that it occurred to me that day that in the real world, sometimes your PayPal balance and your Bitcoin amount, they're not enough. Sometimes you just need a crisp $5 bill in your hand, and I didn't have that. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So this story has a pretty good moral. Let me know in the comments. Okay, comment or whatever if you like this video, like this type of the video. You know the drill. But let me know in the comments if you're from the USA, or better yet, if you're from a country other than the USA. I would like to see where my actual subscribers are from, because YouTube demographics is saying they're all over the place. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, I've been talking for way too long now. Thanks for putting up with me for another video, everybody. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. That's it for me today.